dun, 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 na, 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 na. Another episode of Shellonomics. We are joined by Bobby 80s today. Bobby's World 80s on his socials. How you doing today, Bobby?
Good, Mike. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic. So, guys, we are going to get a nice little show and shell, as I call it here, with Bobby's massive Ninja Turtle collection. So I usually ask my guests for their first question, what is your introduction to turtles? Where'd you find these guys?
I mean, because I'm part of the original team, I grew up with it. So my parents, bought me all the toys and, I watched the cartoons. And so it stuck with me when I went back into my nostalgia era. And I went back and I bought it all back because, I'm sure a lot of us collectors can go through that pain of our parents threw a lot of things away as we got older. So, so I hit my nostalgia era, and I went back and I started finding a lot of the stuff all over again. So it's been fun.
Oh gosh, yeah. You talk about for us, it wasn't really throwing stuff away, but just some of the oddball stuff, which is what we're going to get into in this video here. Is Bobby's got some really cool, like you can call them artifacts. Like I had the hockey game, which I still remember the commercial, but I can't find that one in good condition anymore. We had the bowling game too. If you remember that one, like you had like that little pizza puck, and it was called Poppin' Pins. It's just like crazy how the prices of some of these have gone up. So what inspired you to say, you know what, I'm on a mission, I want to collect some turtles, and how did you go about it? Because some people, they want to go for the full, like we've had Josh Melkert on for the toys, and he at one spot had every toy from the 88 to 97 line. So how did you want to piece your collection to make sure you had the space for it to display it? And just like, what was your mission?
So my mission was to start from the bottom, work my way up. I prioritized the first series from 1988, and I went from there. And it was one of those things where it's like an itch that never is satisfied. And so I would get the stuff that was my on my list. The main figures, the mutations, the soft heads, and then the ooze cans, and then getting the random stuff, from there, and then moving on into the 2003 series. I was a big fan of the 2011 series by Nickelodeon. I think they did that really well as far as a balance between, a wink and respect to the originals and doing their own thing. I think the balance there was perfect, because that's really hard to do. But yeah, then I kind of stopped from that point on, and worked my way back. But yeah, there really is no like formula to it. It's just whatever like catches my eye, because once you get what you wanted or what you used to have as a kid, what meant something to you or what you connected with, at that point it's whatever catches my eye. And then I started going into the weird stuff that we're going to talk about, like like the cereal boxes, the other food items, the candy wrappers, the store displays from Burger King, that kind of stuff. Because I'm sure you can remember the VHS tapes that were available, and
yes,
and so I have a ceiling hanger with those VHS tapes. So it's you can't go better than that. So, but yeah, it just honestly it gets to the point where you network with a bunch of other collectors, and they get to know you, what you're into, especially other dealers too, and they want to make a quick buck. And if they know that you're one of those guys that is a straight shooter, they can go to you and be like, you know what, Bobby wants that. I know he'll like that, so let me give him first dibs. And so a lot of things, have ended up in my collection because I've made a good rapport with a lot of people, and they're like, you know what, this belongs in Bobby's collection. Let me ask him if he has it yet. So, yeah, it's really, there is no really formula to it. Just like I went towards whatever I wanted originally, what I had as a kid, and then work my way from there. So
that makes perfect sense, Bobby, because how I used to collect was the same way. You go to that same toy shop and that guy recognizes you, you build a little relationship with them. So when I used to collect a lot, did you ever see those the garbage cans, like those like toy chests? Remember the turtle toy chests? Have you seen any of those?
Yeah, well, I have one in my collection, but I never saw it as a kid.
Okay.
I think I possibly saw it at someone's house. It's one of those things where it's like you wanted it because someone else had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure when I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, that's nice," but it never ended up in my possession when I was younger. But yeah, this is what you're talking about, right?
No, I could send you yeah, that's the one thing. Yes. So pretty much what happened was, just to give you an example of how, just so again, for anybody who's listening and you're on a mission to get some crazy items like this, me and Bobby like to share some, just some feedback is, you keep going to that same guy, you build a relationship. He knew I wanted that. And he's like, Mike, this, like you just said, this deserves to be in your collection. And then they give you a discount. Cause it's like, I would, at least in my opinion, for most of the people who are resellers or their own shop, I think there's no more joy that they can get as a good feeling just to giving it to somebody who they know is going to appreciate this item and it's going to have a good home. So what are some of your favorite pieces that you've gotten from, like you say, a toy shop or a collector that, were just like your eyes lit up like, oh my God, I actually own this now?
Well, I mean, for one thing, it was it's one of those things where you get you have other collectors that you don't compete with, but you
Right.
definitely have like a back and forth with, where it's like, Bobby, check this out, look what I got, and you're like, oh cool, I always wanted that too. And then at one point down the line, they're like, you know what, Bobby, I need to make some room, or it's time for this thing to move on. And I think, I want to give you, let you know if you're still interested in it. And so, I mean, that's when you have that good connection with people. And,
Oh, yeah.
so even when you miss out on something on eBay or wherever, and you're like, darn, I almost had it. And then it's like, oh, wait. And then someone posts that they just won it. And like, oh, at least I know where it is,
True.
And if I know, then I can always send a message. Hey, if ever down the road, if you ever want to get rid of it, let me know. And so, yeah, I mean, like the perfect example is the
Okay.
Burger King display sign. I mean, this ended up in a collection of a buddy of mine. And like 2 years later, he was like, you know what? I have other fish to fry. And if you're willing to, pay for it now, let's do it. And so let me see if I can turn the camera around. If not, I don't know if it'll let me.
Yeah, you might be able to with the flip. If not, no big deal. We're okay.
All right. Anyways, so let me try to see here. I'm trying to see if can you see my collection okay?
Yeah, and I guess for our viewers listening now, Bobby, how did you go about wanting to display it? Like, where did you get this? Because this is the way, in my opinion, I don't like having stuff in totes. If I can't display it, I don't want it, because just keeping it in a box doesn't mean anything to me. So how did you come up with this design of like, hey, this is how I want to have my toys? Like, where did you buy the item to get this set up, and how did you get those cool lights in there? That looks awesome.
I'm with you, but I'm also at the point where, or whenever I find stuff, or I buy it when I see it. You know what I mean? Regardless if I have room for it yet, because I know at some point down the road I'll make room for it. But whenever I'm just so afraid that I'm going to miss an opportunity to get something, or it might be a lot more money later on when I do find it again. So I try to buy things even if I not sure if they're going to I'm going to have room for it. But to answer your other question, if I could rewind time and if I had the funds, I would have built my display cases from scratch.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I would have custom. That was the idea, before COVID, that I wanted to custom make my display cases so that I could make the best of every inch of space, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've done pretty well as far as making the best of things. And so I go on Facebook Marketplace and I search for either free listings or because I live down in Orlando, so there's always someone moving in and moving out. And
wow, that's a good way to go. Okay, that's a good tip right there. Thanks for that bonus tip there, viewers. If you need to rewind this again, this will be on Spotify and YouTube. That's actually a great tip. I never thought of that. For free listings, people do Beanie Babies for free, so you've actually gotten turtle stuff for free. What was one of your favorite pieces you got for no cost?
Oh, I don't know about no cost. I was mostly talking about the display cases themselves.
Oh, the display cases you got for free. Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, I mean, or dirt cheap. I mean, because compared to what they were, originally bought for, and then I went on Amazon and I installed the LED strips myself.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so it's honestly, it all depends on what you have to work with, and between your budget and how creative you can be. There really is no right or wrong answer. Like I said, if I had a magic wand and if funds were not an option, and if time and money and everything else was not an option, just do whatever you want, I would say make your own cases, because you can build the frame easily out of wood. You can get the hardware for the tracks, and then you can go to your local glass shop to make the doors. It's actually very easy. And like I said, you can go on Amazon for like $20, $15, get the strips yourself. You know, they have adhesive, and you know it's very easy. Depending on how creative or how handy you are. But anyways, but as far as like individual pieces, like I mean, like I said, it's I've been like on a hiatus from collecting turtles because I feel like I've peaked, if that makes any sense.
No, it
Like,
makes a lot of. I won't cut you off, but it makes a lot of sense because yeah, we've all been in this game. People our age, it's like I get that they're making new stuff and reprints, but for the old stuff, yeah, most of us already have that journey. Nice giant Bebop and Rocksteady down there. Movie. So what I like about this too is what inspired you to have some Mouser builds? I've seen a lot of Foot Army builds. You're actually the first person I've talked with a lovely Mouser build right there. Army
Thank
build.
you. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big thing about army building, but I'm also about the army building is where the only time where I'll have more of one than one thing because I'm not big on hoarding. I sell my extras if I have them because I'd rather have something I don't have already than keeping an extra of something.
Yeah.
But honestly, between just going to toy shows and again, back in the day, I had a lot of people just coming up to me saying, "Hey, Rob, I just bought this whole auction, or I bought this whole lot from a local, estate sale," and it was like, they let me cherry pick, and it was great. And so along the way, I would slowly, one by one, I'd come across Mousers, and I'm like, "Okay, I got to have it." And the same thing with Foot Soldiers, which I'll bring over here.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
oh there they are, nice.
and these are all originals. I at some point I bought some of the 2010 reissues, but I was like, you know what? No, I want to stay original. I don't want to confuse anything. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, and then the other thing was this display case I actually got for free. And wow. I was so happy because I finally had a place that could fit the sewer play set,
Oh man. How did you get all those ooze cans too? Those go for a good buck. And I see the Alleluia music here with Scratch and Hotspot hanging out too. How'd you acquire those two? The ooze cans and those rare figures there, if you don't mind sharing.
No, not at all. I mean, that's why we're here, right? So let's do this. And the news van, which I'll get to later. Oh, yeah. But as far as like, I mean, all of these are eBay finds, and okay. It's just one of those things where it's like Scratch, I held off for like the longest time, and honestly, I got a great deal for it. I only paid like $175, which is. In today's money is like ridiculous, it's like
I don't mean to cut you off, but just again for our viewers to be clear, not 1075 $1,175 US dollars, right? $175.
Correct.
Wow, unbelievable.
Which is what was like the going right now, like 1,000?
They're up there. I can probably talk to some of my toy, but I know it's definitely way more than the $100 that you found it for. Incredible find.
Exactly, and the same thing with the ooze cannons. I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, I think I only pay like $100 at maximum for each of those. I mean, which is going rate, but if not, I paid a lot less. Like I said, all of this you see, what you're going to see is stuff I got along the way years ago before. Because I started feeling that the winds turn. And I was like, let me get this before it gets too crazy, and. I mean, the display box is one of my prized pieces, and it's like I love stuff like this because not everyone has it or can have it. It's because a lot of these times these things were thrown out.
Yeah.
And so that kind of stuff that like between I even have they're in storage, but I have even the original shipping cases for this stuff. It's like the sewer play set, the party wagon. So. But yeah, I mean the purple cans I'm very happy to have because even those are impossible to get now.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, do you have any comments? I mean, because
just what's that bottle in between the it's like looks almost like a little not a shampoo like that oh that's actually a turtle item right there. Okay, what is I don't think I've seen that before.
So back in like 88 or 89, they had like an accessory kit.
Okay.
And it's from Playmates, but it's supposed to be like I guess a little ooze bottle, and so yeah, fresh from the sewer. Retro Mutant Squirter. I don't know. There's like if you go on eBay, there's if you type in like accessory kit,
Yeah,
I think
that's
it'll
it.
pop up.
Wow.
Because it came with like little like ninja stars, like from the role play costumes.
Ah,
It
those I
came with a bunch
remember.
of little things.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
and then
how'd you get that news van? And that looks like that's a complete news van too.
it's complete. I mean,
Okay.
I went back to my old. That's the one thing about it's nice about when you're buying things on eBay or Facebook. You can go back to the emails or the messages,
Hmm.
and I think I only paid like $175 for it.
Again, man, it's 170. That's your lucky night. If you ever played a lotto, man, it seems like that 175 is going to be your lucky trio for a pick 3.
It really is. It really is. And the crazy part is like I actually remember all this stuff. It's like in my head, like a computer. It's just. But yeah, it was a lot of this stuff was like like I said, I always wanted the Technodrome. I had it as a kid.
Yep.
I got it back. Same with the Party Wagon. I had it as a kid. I got it back. The news van I never had as a kid. But then I was like looking at it, like this is going for crazy money, and even when I got it, like 10 years ago, and I recognized, there's going to be a point where this is not going to be obtainable for me. So let me get it now before it gets too crazy. And I bought it complete, or it might have been missing one accessory if I recall. But a lot of these, especially this item, I would say if you don't have it yet, just try to buy it complete because you'll spend more money trying to piece it together.
I agree.
So,
the Technodrome eyeball right now, I've seen on eBay, the eyeball alone, I've seen it sell for $40. Just the eyeball alone.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's insane. The Turtle Van has pieces, that Party Wagon has some rare pieces that go for a go. Yeah, so that's actually great advice for those listening here and looking to get some rare pieces. It's like we understand it's a little bit more to, you have to upfront the money, but if you're going for the long term, you'll actually save money, like you say, buying it complete instead of, and that goes for action figures too. I mean, like that Android Krang, I always thought that dude's a little cool. You have Giant Android from 1991 and Little Krang from 1994. Again, I highly recommend trying to get those complete. Toon Shredder is one of my favorite pieces too. I love the Toon Shredder. I like how you have that one on display. That's a sharper figure. And what's he holding in his hand actually?
Oh, that's the communicator.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah, because like the Turtles had their own little communicator.
Yes.
The Technodrome had its own like version.
Now I'm curious, do those communicators work? If not, no big deal. You just seem to have be a collector who has a lot of good working stuff. Do those communicators still work with the battery?
I believe when I put batteries in it, the green lights did function. Yes.
Awesome. What's that third one in the back? I've never seen that one. I know the first two. That's all. Is that like a rare communicator? Yeah, that one right there that's next to the
it's
legs.
It's a second version.
What was that? One more time?
It's a second version.
Oh, it is. Okay.
It's from the original series, but
right.
They made it more cartoon accurate.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Yeah, I'm familiar with the. Oh, I see. Smart. You have the first one up front. For those watching this, the video is that's just the one closed and open, right? That's the same one.
Correct.
And the cards can go inside there. Okay, cool. And it looks like you got some. Now we're gonna get into the fun stuff. So we've already seen all these crazy rare figures. Stuff I've seen. It looks like those are the shampoo bottles down there, right? Is that one of the shampoos with Raphael?
Yeah, actually, Raphael is coming in the mail because I was like, you know what, I'm a completist, so I want to have all four. We got Mikey, Leo, Donnie, and then we got the foam.
Yes. Oh, that's cool.
And then we got Mikey was like this. I never had it when it was full, so I'm guessing it was green or pink.
Okay.
Or slimy green. Okay. And then then Shredder can will probably be purple. So.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, see the box. It just like, don't you just love the artwork on those boxes too? See, back in our day, well, I mean, maybe kids nowadays still enjoy it, but just the artwork on these boxes, which is why, like you say, you have these boxes of your figures. Just the mutant module. It just, God, I love seeing the turtle blimp box. Very nice.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, the art. I one day I want to either myself or someone. I want them to make a book about how. I already have a title for it. Box art, the lost art.
Oh yeah, that actually makes, especially with this toy line right here, just because they even have, like you see, they make it like an old comic. You see the little bubbles on there on the Party Wagon. They're actually having conversations, and that was extra hype. Oh, nice. The VHS tapes you got there too. Oh yeah, this is all, man, just GG, and we're not even done, guys. We got a long way to go with this party tour bus here.
Yeah, these tapes are my originals too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I still kept mine, guys. So were you somebody like myself who just remembers all the commercials? Your Pizza Hut commercial?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you cannot watch the Ninja Turtles 1 without that kid, trying to catch the ball in outfield.
Yeah, and then they go and then they go to Pizza Hut afterwards. Exactly.
I mean, it's crazy. I didn't think about it as a kid, but as an adult, I'm like thinking to myself, wait a minute, why does the VHS start with a Pizza Hut commercial, but then in the movie they get delivery by Domino's?
Yeah, I think Pizza Hut missed the ball. I think because if I read it right, I don't think anybody really wanted to sponsor it. But then Pizza Hut realized they made a mistake because I think they ended up sponsoring the Coming Out of Their Shells tour, and I think you got a Pizza Hut coupon with it. It might have been Turtles 2 for NES, I forget, but I think they had a coupon in one of those. Oh, here we go. Here's how the heck did you get these? These are some awesome cutouts here.
Yeah, these I'm shifting because we're talking about Pizza Hut, and so this is one of the store displays for Coming Out of Their Shell, and there's another one. I forget what it looks like, but it's like the exact same size, but I forget what it looks like. It's slightly different, but I was able to snag this. What I'm a big if anyone knows my Instagram and they've seen my collection, they know I have a ton of these for different toy lines and collections. But yeah, here's a cereal standee.
Sharp.
And that's unused too. From someone's collection, it was unused, but the shipping on these things are ridiculous. So a lot of people, pass on these things because sure, they'll pay 100, 200 or whatever it is for the item, but once they see the cost of shipping, that kind of like kills the deal,
That was one of my questions. Can you tell me about a time you actually drove somewhere to get the collection, or have you always had it shipped to you? Did you ever drive an hour or 2 hours to pick something up?
I mean, I have for other items, but nothing turtle related.
Okay.
I've tried to think about it because I know you asked a couple times already, but it's really, honestly, it's all about networking and finding things either at a show, but nothing this big at a show. Honestly, I probably paid for my collection twice over because of what I've spent on shipping. To be honest,
gosh.
So it's like a necessary evil if you really want, because like this I would never find. I wouldn't drive to Illinois to pick this up, you know?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. So I guess that's one. Is that probably the biggest challenge you face with your collection? Is just forking up extra pizza dough for your shipping charges?
Yes. I mean, honestly, that's probably what's the biggest hinder when for any collector, I think. Because honestly, if you lived in like the middle of the country, when especially if you're a Kenner guy, if you're in Ohio where the factory used to be, I mean, that's where a lot of people find a lot of great buys locally or a lot of great sales, estate sales. But I don't know where Playmates was located directly. I know Hasbro was in Rhode Island, Kenner was in Cincinnati, Ohio. But Playmates, I don't know. Have you heard anything about where they used to be?
Headquarters wise,
headquarters?
no, I can't. I think we're there's something I know off the top of my head. I'll have to check after I record. But I think something in New Hampshire is where like the Turtles are, but I can't recall where the PlayStation headquarters. Oh, there's some more like. Now, are these just laminated posters, or where did you get these from?
Okay, so top and bottom is Burger King displays. This is the Translight, light box sign.
Oh, okay.
So you put a light behind it, it'll light up. This will be what's like something would be like inside or at the drive-through window.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay. And then bottom here, this is a window cling. So a lot of these would get destroyed just trying to peel them off the window back in the day. This one actually survived. So
that's gotta be a nice piece. Oh, that is really cool. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. So that's pretty much when you go up to the drive-up window and you had that little flyer up there. Okay.
Yeah. And this would be like probably on the welcome the front door or front window when you walk in. And because the sticky part is on the front side, so a lot of the times because the plastic is so thin, it would get baked by the sun, and they would have to scrape it off the window by the time the promotion was over. Okay, But this must have been, on the back end of the window where it wasn't getting a lot of sun because they were able to peel it off and someone saved it. And then I collected it, years later. But it framed nicely. And then, so yeah, there's probably not a lot of these out there at all. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna give you a fun question right here. We're just gonna role play. I didn't ask you this before the recording, but since you have a fantastic collection, just for the sake of this, we're gonna say at the end of this year there's gonna be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles museum, and they're gonna have a whole bunch of cool artifacts. They asked you for 3 of your best pieces. Which 3 would they be?
Okay. Honestly, one of them would be this serial display.
Okay.
Because it's so crisp. It would be this wacky Turtles Playmate sign because I got it from a dealer who is in that circle of people of, former employees. And even a former Playmates employee who used to do the advertising couldn't even recall this piece. So, because of its rarity, I would say this needs to be in the museum. And let's see what else we got here. I mean, if someone said, okay, you only got 5 seconds to choose, I would say display box would be the third piece. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that's like so rare and obscure, but also totally awesome.
How'd you get that? I mean, that cutout's famous on your Instagram. That other one that looks like, is that a movie cutout? The one to your immediate right to the Pogo Copter? That's another big, nice cutout right there.
Yes. So yeah, this is I've seen this item before. It's actually one of the more common cutouts.
Oh, but, wow! Love the artwork.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a nice piece. You can't see it because it has the movie logo at the bottom, the base.
Oh yeah, okay.
But really nice, and right above it, since we're in this area, above it, I don't know if you can see it.
I see a blimp, and I see. There's a little poster up there. What is it? It says, "Hey dudes, get immunized now." What is it? Oh, they were trying to be a little political and have you get your flu shot.
Yeah, so it was, and honestly, this was only for, if you read the bottom, it was only in California in select hospitals.
Wow.
And this is a foam board.
Oh, wow. It's like, okay, damn.
And so yeah, it was, I don't know if it was getting political, but it was definitely just trying to get kids to be like, don't be afraid to get your flu shot. But yeah, for measles, mumps, and other uncool diseases. Yeah.
It's like those turtle tips where it was like, don't say no to drugs. I think they had those on a couple other episodes too. They're just trying to push a good message for us. Something wrong with that. Very
exactly. Cool. And so this is this probably be museum worthy because I've never seen another one. And because it would only be in California and only for select hospitals. And I can imagine a lot of these got thrown out by nurses, like they don't care,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. At the end of their shift or even their doctors, like, I don't need this. Especially they're more adults. What's that piece to your right? It looks like that's, what's that, 4-pack? Or footwear.
This right here?
Yeah.
This is the shoebox.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, a vintage shoebox too. That ain't the new ones that are out.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And since we're talking about boxes,
I was talking
about before, this is the shipping case for the ooze cans.
Yeah, feel free to we are a Ninja Turtle podcast. Anything goes. You can show us 2003. I'm more a retro guy, but I'm like you. I actually, as I've aged, I know it hurts that my 10-year-old's going to be kicking me, my own 10-year-old self, but I like the 2003 cartoon a little bit more than our Fred Wolf one. If you had to pick one of them.
Right. Honestly, between the two, I mean, both the 1988 and the 2003 series, the intro songs were fire.
Yeah. Well, agree 100%. Oh wow, that's a nice collection. Yep, there's a Hun Splinter. Now, are there any? I'm not too familiar with rare pieces, but are there any pieces in there that go for a good buck?
Shredder's daughter, Katana?
Karai.
Karai, yeah, sorry, yeah, Karai. She's pretty rare. This bug guy, I can't recall his name, but he's pretty rare. I know the rhino guy, he's pretty rare.
Oh yeah, okay.
Bishop, the CIA agent or FBI agent, or
he's a cool figure.
Special agent. He's pretty rare. And honestly, you get to, I know Rat King is pretty rare too, or Baxter Stockman, and you got more army building with the Utrons.
Oh, smart. Okay, okay.
And those are rare too because the Utrons are like made of like silicone,
Okay,
rubber, and so I can foresee those being like deteriorated, down the road,
yeah. Let's see. Let's see, another question I got for you, because I'm scared to get into this kind of collecting because they do such a good job. Do you see yourself collecting any NECA Ninja Turtles down the line?
Do I see myself collecting NECA Ninja Turtles down the line?
We're going to get an answer to our question here, folks, in less than 2 minutes.
Let me think about that. Let me think about that for a second. I'm wondering if they do a really good job.
Yeah, they totally do. Oh my God, nice. So we just pretty much went from the home base of the Turtles there to Donatello's lab. Oh wow, thank you for this bonus content. I mean, maybe you had this plan, but I didn't expect this. Oh my God, that's heaven right there.
You name it, I got it.
Oh my God, the Crooked, see, these are toys I wish I had grown up, like the Crooked Ninja Turtle Gang, the extra punks from the first episode, the killer pizzas in top tier shape, the movie NECAs. Oh my God, that General Trag looks so cool on that third shelf, that buff General Trag. Oh my God.
They did it right. Yep. They did it right.
Yep.
I mean, this is what we should have got back in the day.
Oh man, 1,000%. Triceratons, because they were in an episode. Baby Shredder was in one. And even just the little details that they give you, like those little things that are only in one episode.
Yep.
They have, the neutrinos. Oh wow. Yeah, you can't beat that. Oh, even made a Danny character. Tatsu. See, that'd be a cool figure too. We didn't have Tatsu at all. We did have movie Turtles, but not Tatsu.
Yeah, Tatsu, they just came out this past year. Danny was like a Loot Crate exclusive.
Okay.
And I still need to get Kino.
I saw he has one with his scooter now too, I think. I'm pretty sure you'll be nabbing that one before the year comes to an end.
Yeah, he's on my list. The one with the scooter was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so he's a little bit more expensive. And the scalpers had their turn, So I'm waiting for the wind to die down a little bit, and then to the point where whoever wanted it has it, and then and waiting for someone to be like, what, this Kino's been on my shelf for too long, I need to get rid of it, and let me put a discount on it, and I'll nab it then, because the only other one they made was Kino in his boxing foot training outfit.
Oh yeah, when he was undercover, so to speak. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, his undercover outfit. And I prefer to have him in his pizza delivery outfit with a scooter. So I'm waiting to get him in that.
Oh gosh.
I'm impressed that they made the professor.
Oh yeah, Professor
really
Jordan
impressed.
Perry, he's in there too. That's right. Man, they got everybody. And they said now, I don't know if you're, but they said he was actually supposed to be a Neutron in one of the script writings. There was talk about him.
I just saw that. I just saw I think it was a TikTok or something, but I definitely just saw that video where they're like that was one of the possibility or reveals. And there was even talk about having him become Baxter Stockman.
Oh, that would have been little things like that could have made that. I mean, that movie's still fun to watch, but that could have just gave us a little more like ooh and ah, like how you have these MCU movies with all these ending credit scenes. That could have been a fantastic ending credit scene. Bobby, whatchamacallit, another question is just what advice would you give to anybody who's starting to toy collect or who's like yourself is like you're trying to own those hard to find pieces? I
would say don't bother. The window is shut down. I mean, it's 2025. The problem is I could never collect or even imagine to start my collection, today. It's daunting. I would say if you're just getting started, I would say definitely fine tune or narrow down your focus, because you could get lost trying to do what I did and bounce around. Because the problem is with all the toy shows over the past decade between Toy Hunter and then Toys That Made Us and the Toys That Built America, all these toy shows that have come out, the problem is they have awoken the newbies. I call them the newbies.
Yes.
Because they came later and they totally ruined the market as far as supply and demand. Because before we were just kind of fighting amongst ourselves, but now we're also fighting the newbies who are, they apparently they have the money and they're not, but they don't know how to haggle, and so, or they don't know how to control themselves, and so they're like all these toy shows are waking them up with this nostalgia, and we know how that feels,
Yes.
and so they kind of went, nuts, and so a lot of times what they're doing is they're raising the expectations to the vendors and dealers, and now the vendors and dealers know how much they can get for certain items, and that price ain't coming down anytime soon. I mean, we saw it with the Scratch the Cat. I mean, like I said, I was able to get it for $175 back in the day, no big deal, and literally like the next day, 300, 600, 1200, and it's like I would never would have guessed a Scratch the Cat loose without accessories would go for $1,200.
Yeah.
But so my advice is, if you have to, I would say narrow your focus. Like if you want to collect NECA, I mean, honestly, there's nothing wrong with NECA. Because as far as accuracy goes, this is show accurate. That's the whole reason why I went this nuts with it, because this is what I feel like I wanted back in the day, and so I bought them now because they finally listened to the fans. They got rid of the gimmick stuff, even though the gimmick stuff is fine. It's fun, but I wanted something that was accurate, and so. But doing both NECA and vintage, that's a pricey tab, But it honestly, it's all depends on, everyone has their own budget. But I mean, like I said, I could not imagine starting now, because a lot of the stuff that you see here, you can't find in stores anymore. They were out for like a year or two, and then they're gone. They're like this. These are all old waves. Like this is like old, like wave 1 through 4. I mean, these are no longer in stores. So now you're paying, eBay scalper prices, and then you're paying shipping on top of that. So you're no longer paying $50 for a 2-pack. You're paying 60, 75, 100, whatever, plus shipping, and that's only for two figures. And so it adds up. Timing is everything in this hobby. And if you're on the tail end of it, I mean, you're really fighting a uphill battle, So my like I said, my final advice is just I would say narrow your search and your focus of what really connects with you, and then go from there.
I agree with that, because especially with the Turtleverse, you can get lost. And I did like how you pointed out too, where our generation, they did get kind of silly with, and that's what even the gentleman I'm doing the toys with, we're doing like a yearly episode, and we're like, I exactly like how your collection, you focus on the core character. It's cool to have, wacky action Mike or punk rocker Mike, but this is what you want. You have your movie version, and you have your core character variant. So Bobby, as we bring this in for a landing, where can people find you in your collection? As we see Jurassic Park. We know you've got Ghostbusters, a lot of other stuff. So tell us, viewers who don't know a little bit about you, just where they can find you, and if they want to check out some more awesome toy collections.
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on Facebook, Bobby80s, or Bobby's Toy Chest. Sorry, they wouldn't let me do just numbers. But anyways, Bobby's Toy Chest on Facebook, or Bobby_80s on Instagram. You'll need like a hard drink and a long weekend to scroll through my entire collection on Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, I mean, I have so many other rare items and other original piece of art, and that goes to other franchises: RoboCop, Ninja Turtles, Crash Dummies, Ghostbusters, like you said, and all the other random '80s lines, Visionary, Supernaturals, Computer Warriors. The list goes on. If it had a cartoon or movie based off of it, I had a connection to it, or I wanted it. I'm an only child, so my parents spoiled me. And got me hooked on a lot of different things, and I watched TV a lot as a kid, and so that's where all that stems from. But yeah, once I got the toys collected, I went into the rare stuff, like the store displays and the original art. And when I became a collector, I started networking with people and started realizing, there's prototypes in the world. There's original art from the boxes. All that is on my page. I don't like to hoard. I like to share things and be like, hey, listen, yes, it's in my collection, but it exists and it's in a safe space. It's not like there's a lot of collectors out there that are not online, and they're very closeted, and they hoard. Like they don't like you're talking about the totes and the bins before, Mike.
Yeah.
That's all they do. They want it for themselves, and it just gets tucked away like it's the storage warehouse from Lost Ark. You know, these exist, and it's very sad to me. Like for me, I want things to be on display, for crying out loud. You know,
Yeah, like you said, a turtle museum would be awesome, and if that would just be incredible. You know, and,
so.
Very good stuff there. As we bring this in for Lance, so final question for you: your favorite Master Splinter quote, and also thank you so much for taking time out of your weekend to share with us your collection and some stories and some advice for our viewers. I really appreciate that.
Oh, not a problem. I even have other things too. You know, for if we want to do another episode, let me know. I'm happy to come back. But yeah, as far as Splinter goes, I always love the end of the first movie where they always come back from doing whatever, saving the day, and he's always like, you know, saying, dude, were you seen? And it's like, no, of course not. And then he shows him like the newspaper, and he's like, practice harder. And so I love it. I love it. Those movies they got it right. So
yeah, no, I agree. All right, Bobby, it's been a pleasure, my dude. We'll see you on Instagram. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks, Mike. Take care, buddy.